Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into what is, well, probably the most crucial meeting you have all week, the one-on-one with your manager.
That's right. And our mission today is to pull out the practical steps and maybe more importantly, the strategic questions that can turn these meetings from, just a status update
Right.
into a real opportunity for you to build trust and actually develop your career.
Okay, but before we get into any of that, we have to establish this one foundational concept because it really changes everything, and that is your approach has to be culturally appropriate.
Absolutely. You,
Yeah.
you, you have to ask yourself, what kind of management culture am I actually in? Is your manager someone who encourages you to question things, to challenge?
Or is it a more traditional hierarchical setup where that could be seen as undermining them?
Exactly. Because in some places, not challenging is seen as a lack of engagement. In others, it's a career risk. You have to
Yeah.
know the landscape first.
Which makes the whole preparation phase so much deeper than just, reviewing your to-do list. The sources are so clear on this. Being unprepared just damages your reputation.
It really does. It's about bringing the best version of yourself.
Hmm.
And that means asking some tough questions before you even walk in. The first one is, how do you think your manager feels about you right now?
And the second one, which is all about accountability, is how well am I actually following through on the guidance I got in our last meeting?
Yes, if you don't address those past action items, that trust just starts to erode immediately.
So once you're prepped, what about the communication style itself?
The goal is clarity. Be concise. The experts really stress avoiding a storytelling approach for routine updates. Just get to the point.
But wait, hold on. Doesn't storytelling sometimes provide really necessary context?
It can, but you have to be efficient.
Hmm.
The real rule here is that if something is truly urgent or time-sensitive, you report it immediately.
Don't save it for the meeting.
Right. Don't package up a fire and wait a week to tell them about it.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about the nonverbals? Body language, presentation.
It's so important for projecting confidence. Just sitting up straight, for instance, shows you're focused. And making good eye contact helps build that rapport, that trust you need.
Especially when you're discussing difficult topics.
And that becomes even more critical when you move into problem solving. Look, managers really dislike it when staff just show up and, drop a bunch of problems on their desk.
They want you to bring solutions, or at least suggestions.
Always. Never arrive empty-handed. And the way you frame it matters. For a really busy or, let's say, impatient manager, the best structure is often to lead with the suggestion first.
So it's a suggestion, then the problem, then the background detail.
Exactly. You give them the answer up front to respect their time.
And that brings us to what might be the single most crucial point of all this.
Which is that what happens between the meetings is what really matters. The one-on-one is just a check-in. Your credibility is built on what you do afterwards.
So you have to hold yourself accountable. No overpromising and underdelivering.
That's the trap. Manage expectations carefully.
Okay, so this is where we get really strategic with the time we have in the meeting, using it to ask those high-impact questions, for alignment, for instance.
Right. You could ask something like, I'd like to understand how my project fits into the company's bigger goals.
That's a great one. It forces them to connect your work to their priorities. Or what about this for prioritization? Looking at my workload, what do you think the priorities are? Should anything be delayed?
That puts the ball in their court, which is smart. And then there's career progression. You have to be proactive about
You
it.
can't just wait for it to happen.
No. You can ask, given where the company is headed, how should I try to develop myself to stay aligned? Or be even more direct.
Yeah.
What do you think my development areas are? And how can I work on them? Ask for specific feedback on tasks. It shows you're serious about growing.
So wrapping this all up, the big takeaway here is that these one-on-ones are your chance to build trust and even share your successes. It's not just a problem reporting session.
Absolutely. And always offer to help them. A great question to end with is, what are your priorities for the next month? How can I help?
So we've established that trust is built on what happens between the meetings.
Which leads us to our final thought for you. How effectively are you really managing expectations right now? And what is the one single commitment you made in your last one-on-one that you need to hold yourself accountable for today?